that there is no Indonesian coffee in Norway, but most of the coffee comes from Brazil, from Kenya, from Colombia, and from Ethiopia. So very few places where you can find Indonesian coffee in Oslo. So the idea to have this coffee coming in Norway, in Oslo, is to introduce Indonesian coffee because we believe we have a lot of potential. Yeah, Indonesian coffee is much, much better than the other coffee. This is my personal opinion. And as a Indonesian who grows coffee in Mandailing, I believe Mandailing coffee, for instance, is one of the best coffee in the world. And we had the privilege to have 17 kind of coffee, yeah, the green beans, sent by Indonesians to Oslo, and the testers of the coffee, yeah, during the coffee cupping, found it very impressive. So they like it very much, and we will try to connect the dot, connect the importer of coffee in Norway and the exporter of coffee from Indonesia. That's the idea, because yeah, market share here seems to be controlled by Brazil, Colombia, Kenya, and Ethiopia. So we would like to penetrate the market in Norway. That's the idea of having the coffee cupping.
Okay, it's good to hear that. And then we see that a decade ago, Mr. Ambassador, Indonesia announced it would team up with Norway in aquaculture to boost sustainable fish production. What's the progress so far? What could we see in the near future?
Well, there are quite a number of Norwegian companies wanting to invest in Indonesia. They want to do aquacultures, yeah, and they've been trying to connect with a number of companies and provincial governments, yeah, but pandemic has prevented the companies to enter Indonesia. Now, let's hope for, a better condition in Indonesia and other places of the world, so they can consider coming again to Indonesia. Before the pandemic, there's been a number of negotiations took place between Norwegian companies and Indonesian companies, and they've been sending their people to Norway to visit the aquacultures. But again, the pandemic has stopped everything. So I'm hoping after this pandemic, we can revive the deal. We can revive the negotiations, and hopefully they'll be able to do their fish farming in Indonesia, although they are not going to do salmon fish farming, because it is not possible to do salmon fish farming in Indonesia. So what's their plan? What is their plan? You know, is to have tuna, yeah, probably barramundi, yeah, and yellowfin, you know, to be farmed in Indonesian waters, and that is possible. So let's hope for the best.
Okay, let's talk about climate change, Mr. Ambassador. As we see that last week, Indonesia ended the $1 billion REDD+ deal with Norway to curb Indonesia's greenhouse gas emissions. But Norway has said it would continue to support Indonesia. Do you see in the future any possible cooperation on climate change and also renewable energy sources?
Well, as far as renewable energy, there are also a lot of companies engaging with Indonesia, and some of them have been in Indonesia. Yeah, I could name a few, yeah, if you want to. But as far as climate change is concerned, yes, REDD+ has been terminated by Indonesia, but it does not mean that there will be no cooperation between Indonesia and Norway. Indonesia is open for operations, and I believe the Norwegian side is also open for further cooperations. So let's see, because we want to have a cooperation with Norway and with other countries on equal footing. Yeah, you want to be very sure that everything is in accordance with the law, everything is in accordance with the priorities that we set up, according to the Paris agreements. So I'm not pessimistic at all. This is not the end of the cooperation between Indonesia and Norway.
Okay. And then what kind of cooperation can both countries have in the near future? after considering the pandemic is still, far from over, Ambassador?
Well, there are a lot of cooperation that can be initiated, yeah, between Indonesia and Norway, but don't forget also that Norway is part of Nordics, yeah, where you have Denmark, Sweden and Finland, yeah, not to mention Iceland. So aside from Norway, possible cooperation between Indonesia and Sweden, Finland and Denmark and Iceland as well, yeah, could be yeah considered by Indonesian side. So I'm hopeful, yeah, that we can do a lot, because yeah, there are so many potentials here, and as you know, Norway has a very big sovereign wealth funds, over $1 trillion. Norway has bought a lot of equity shares from Indonesian companies uh, in Indonesia. So I hope, yeah, we could also, yeah, talk to sovereign wealth fund here, yeah, to get more investment from Norway later on.